You know how sometimes you declutter and it feels like you're just moving things around, but not really getting anywhere? That was me for years. And then one day I realized there was a missing piece. Once I saw it, everything finally clicked. I'll tell you what it was in just a minute, but first, let me explain why decluttering can feel so tricky, especially after 50. When you're younger, life demands more stuff. Babies, school gear, work clothes. Every season seems to add more. But after 50, life shifts. Kids grow up, careers change, maybe you downsize, maybe you retire, and suddenly you realize you don't actually need all of that. Here's the thing though, even though life has changed, we often declutter with the wrong version of ourselves, and that's why it never sticks. Okay, here's the missing piece. It was me. I was decluttering for the wrong person. I was decluttering for who I used to be, or for some ideal version of myself I thought I should be. But I wasn't decluttering for the life I'm actually living right now. Once I started asking myself, does this fit my life right now? Everything changed. That question is the missing piece. Suddenly, you know what really belongs and what's just taking up space from a past life. I think answering this one question can help anyone, no matter what your age. But it's really important for those of us who have gone through many stages, decades, periods in our lives where we've worn a lot of different hats. Sometimes we can want to hold on to all of those past identities, or maybe view ourselves still in that time and place. So let's talk about a few practical ways you can declutter for the life you want to live now. Okay, first remember this. Seasons of life come with seasons of stuff. When you're raising babies, you need strollers and high chairs. When you're working full time, you need work clothes. But when life changes, it's okay for the stuff to change too. Letting go doesn't mean you're erasing that season. It just means you're making room for the one you're in. A while back, we cleaned our garage out and I finally decluttered my old rollerblades. I'm 61 now and there's no way I'm rollerblading again. I'm not good enough at it to risk breaking a bone. I also recently allowed myself to donate 2 t-shirts that I would wear to my daughter's sporting events back when they were in high school and college. It took a long time for me to realize those seasons of my life are behind me. It's time to focus on what's in my life right now. A super simple test. Have you used it in the past year? If not, chances are it doesn't fit your life right now. I had things I'd swore I'd use again, and then they sat untouched for years. The 1-year rule saves me from kidding myself. If you haven't used it in years, then it doesn't fit in your life right now. It's okay to let it go. And here's a little permission slip. You can keep some maybe items. Sometimes we're not ready to let go yet. We're not really sure if it fits in our lives right now. And that's okay. I'll put those items in a separate bin, label it, and give myself a deadline. Or I'll just leave it in my closet or drawer to see if I actually use it. And if I don't use it in a year, That's my answer. This way, you're not forcing a decision before you're ready, but you're also not letting it live in your closet forever. Now, if you find yourself having more maybe items than decluttered items, this might not be the best tip for you. Try to limit yourself on how many you have. Maybe it's only 5 items or whatever can fit in a storage bin. Don't let maybe items get in the way of decision making. You know what really trips us up? Keepsakes. The sentimental things, the things that remind us of who we were or who we love. That's the stuff that can stop decluttering in its tracks. I have a few keepsake boxes in my garage, just 3 or maybe it's 4, but that's it. If something is really meaningful but I don't use it every day, it goes into one of those bins, and when the bins start to get full, that's my signal to go back and see if something inside can be released. Another trick, take a photo or even a little video of the item before you let it go. You keep the memory without having to hold on to the physical object. The key is your memories don't live in the stuff. They live in you. So if an item really makes you happy, save it in a keepsake bin. If it doesn't, a photo might be all you need. This way, you're not drowning in old mementos, but you're still honoring the life you've lived. This is the question that changed everything for me. Every time you pick something up, whether it's a sweater, a gadget, even a piece of decor, ask yourself, does this fit the life I'm living today? Not the life I used to have, not the fantasy life I might never have. Just today. That one question makes decluttering so much easier. I read Marie Kondo's book and I watched her show all about the Japanese art of tidying, and I really love her method. But there are many items that I need to keep that don't really spark joy for me. So asking yourself, does it fit in my life right now, is so powerful because it encompasses both practical and joyful things in your life. Actually, this is so useful not only for things. Ask yourself, does this person fit in my life now? Or does this activity fit my life now? This is a really helpful exercise when things become overwhelming in our lives. All right, let's talk about containers. They can be really helpful, but they can also trick you. The trap is you just buy more and more bins and boxes, and suddenly you're not decluttering, you're just organizing your clutter. And once it's packed away, you forget what's even in there. So here's how to make containers work for you. Declutter first. Don't buy containers until you know what's left. Let the space decide. Figure out how many bins or baskets actually fit in that closet, garage, bookshelf, wherever, and limit yourself to that. The space itself should set the boundary. Also, you can label your containers. If you have a lot of containers, labeling them can save you from digging through mystery bins. Have you opened that container lately? If you haven't, maybe you're not using the contents and perhaps it's okay to declutter it. Used this way, containers can be your friend, but only if you're the boss, not the other way around. Since I babysit my granddaughter Malia twice a week, My little granny flat can quickly look like a nursery. So I really need to declutter and find space for Malia's things. I'm lucky that I have space in the garage right over here to store her bigger items like her strollers, playmat, and high chair. But I also need to declutter and organize the space by the TV, which I actually have 2 baskets that I can use for Malia's things. One basket has my dog Sven's items, and he already has other areas where I store his things. So I'll declutter and move these items. I also have this other basket, which I have no idea what's inside. So yes, let's take care of this. And finally, one of the simplest but most powerful habits, one in, one out. If you bring something new in, a sweater, a gadget, even kitchenware, something old has to go. Such a small thing, but it keeps you balanced so you don't end up back where you started. This way, you're not just decluttering once, you're building a lifestyle that protects your space going forward. Now, I love to shop. This can be a huge problem after decluttering. Luckily, I do have other hobbies besides shopping that I enjoy. However, my mom's only hobby was shopping, and growing up, that's what we did together. My mom was a hairdresser in San Francisco, and she was actually pretty stylish. So shopping was always fun. We didn't always buy things. Often we just window shopped and had a nice lunch somewhere in San Francisco. These shopping trips are such good memories for me. So I do have to be careful that I don't use shopping as therapy. Interesting to also note that my small business revolves around thrifting. Again, I have to be very mindful about picking up items for myself. The one in, one out rule really helps keep the clutter away. Okay, think of decluttering as a gift that we give ourselves so that we can live more intentionally and fully. This way we aren't bogged down with unnecessary stuff. We talked about some strategies to make decluttering easier. Each of them are just tools, but they all point back to this missing piece: decluttering for the life you're living right now. Because once your home reflects your life today, everything feels lighter, freer, and so much easier. I'd love to know, what's one area of your home that doesn't fit your life anymore? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear. Also, I'd like to invite you to a free online event where there's over 100 creators such as Cass from Clutterbug and Dawn from The Minimal Mom who submitted a video. So there's over 100 videos. These videos are all about decluttering, organizing, and making your life better. My video is called Decluttering a Lifetime of Memories. The Get Organized HQ event is coming up soon, so click on the link below to get your free ticket. Also, if you're looking to find personal growth in midlife or at any age, check out my Starting Over playlist. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you find wellness today and every day. See you next time.